we go. BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast. Season 6, Episode 2. I'm Brian the Commish, and on my right is the best co-host in the business, owner of Born to Run, Walt here. Walt, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this week.
Terrific. Yeah, me too. For those of you that are watching us live or watching us later or just listening, this is the BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, where we look at all things fantasy football through the lens of our league, B-Town Action Reality Fantasy Football, affectionately known to us as BARFF.
BARFF.
And that is our league. Walt, what I would like to do tonight is I would like to start by taking a quick look at the standings.
Okay.
Just so that we know exactly where we are at heading into the remainder of this week. Going to try to get this up on the old screen. And here is our standings. So we've got Whopper Moppers in first place at 2-0, Huey Lewis in the News at 2-0, the Knuckleheads pulling in at 2-0, and Sody Pantloads at 2-0. Holding down the middle spots, the Soaring Eagles are 1-1, Born to Run. Walt, you're 1-1.
I am.
Low lineup needed is 0-2. Boston Beans are 0-2. Springfield Rifle 0-2, and Worst Team Ever 0-2. Those are our 10 teams, and that is where we're at, and we've got a lot to talk about. We've got an exciting week of BARFF coming off of last week.
Yep.
A lot of close games.
That there were.
It was pretty impressive all the way around. Let me get us back, and we will start talking about week 2. So we'll keep going. Let me get this video straightened out, and we'll jump right into last week's games.
Well, I'll talk about the standings, because the one thing I have noticed, there's always, when I see a trend, right? So, yeah, you're 0-2, but I always look at your points for, and you start looking at, if you start seeing a big gap after 2 games between, say, the middle tier and where you're at.
Right.
And the trend I don't like for Beans, the Rifle, and Worst Team Ever, they're already from the middle pack. They're like 30 points less after 2 games, which is not a lot.
Right.
But Worst Team Ever is like 60 points after 2 games.
Right.
That's alarming.
That is a bad position to be in.
We got to keep an eye on that, because to me, records are records, and sometimes you can get a couple wins with bad weeks because the matchup was right. But yeah, I see some reason for concern for a couple of teams, needless to say.
I agree. We said last week that no lineup needed tends to be in a hole early, and they're famous for digging out of it. So, we'll see if that trend does not continue. That's an owner that you don't count out anyway.
Exactly, and their point total is better than Sody. It's right there behind you, and so you look at that and you say, that seems like kind of tracks for what no lineup normally does, which is start out slow.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to move something else up to the front. And so let's talk about an exciting week of BARFF games. A lot. So we talked about week 1. Players were maybe a little sleepy. The scores were a little bit lower than what we had thought that they would be. And then we end up getting this pretty impressive run of games with some pretty amazing performances in week 2. So where do you want to start with week 2?
We might as well start with ours, an entertaining game, although the score likes to paint a picture it was closer than it really was.
Right.
I never felt that way at any point, maybe until like the 4th quarter of the game when I saw, Hampton wasn't doing anything. I'm like, if Bowers can slime a touchdown, maybe
right.
I pull this one out, which
Right.
would have been a miracle. But, it was close because Fields got knocked out early. You get, which is good for the rest. Tells how well the rest of your team did. You get 4 points from your quarterback, 8 out of 10 times you're going to lose the game.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I will say I'm happy with what happened in Knuckleheads Land this week, but that is not sustainable.
Yeah, your receivers were just like off the charts.
Right.
And Neighbors, the Cowboys couldn't cover them. Russell was throwing those things that left the atmosphere and fell in. It was crazy. And then St. Brown, everybody knew the Lions were going to probably rip up the Bears, but 40 points. That's a pretty nice game.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it's pretty good.
And then I had underperformers. Brian Thomas. I mean, Pacheco underperformed, I guess. I kind of expect that. But, I said this when I drafted him. This guy would be a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Aubrey, man, 22 points.
Yep.
He's a weapon. He made that kick.
Brandon Aubrey, we have said, how many times have we referred to this kicker? He is a weapon.
It's a weapon.
It's crazy.
I mean, that kick he hit, me and Tyler were guessing 68, no problem. That kick to tie it could have been maybe good from 70. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Absolutely, it is so impressive what he can do, and that just opens up your offense.
Right,
you're going 4 downs at midfield for you don't have to worry about whether
exactly.
you're deep with that guy. That's insane.
Watching that game, I was like baffled. I'm like, they're not even trying to pick up 6-7 more yards.
Right.
They were happy and felt confident enough he can make that field goal, which is incredible to me. But like you said, it was, I score 131 points. I'm not going to cry.
Right.
It's
right.
not a bad week at all.
No, it's tough to score that many points and lose, but that's just going to happen sometime.
100%. Yeah. But if you see the production, you see your team scoring, you'll be okay overall. So,
right.
Not the most stinging defeat, which I think may be a good segue of talking about Sodi and the worst team ever. Stinging defeat.
Let's talk about that Civil War game. Sodi Pantloads. Hold on. Sodi Pantloads and worst team ever going at it in week 2. Well, tell me about this game.
I mean, it's pretty alarming in my mind. Granted, Daniels went out. He still had 21, so it wasn't, like he got, like 4 points. But I see you got CD, awesome, but Drake London underperforming. I didn't like Mark Andrews. I felt he's kind of in the twilight of his career.
I agree. And Isaiah Likely, I believe, started practicing this week also.
So that's going to hurt. I just think worst team ever. And, like I said, total points, I have a lot of concern. I just don't think they have the firepower to compete with the rest of the BARFF teams. Whereas, the Pantloads, some good coaching decisions. I mean, sticking Drake May in there, that was a pretty good call. Yep. Bucky Irvin's great. He did get 15 out of the Ravens. That's always nice.
That helps.
Yeah.
All those points down the bottom of the lineup always help.
And Cortland Sutton, 1 catch, that was rough. But, I think overall he's got Bijan, Chase Brown, kind of underperformed, but that line. But Sodi's going to be fine. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
I agree. Yeah, there's no reason to panic in Sodi land right now.
But worst team ever, I'm already kind of breaking the glass and about ready to pull that lever, the fire alarm, because let's say it that way.
Is there cause for panic after only 2 weeks?
I think there is. But that's my take on it.
Yeah. All right, we're trying to get a caller on the line here.
Oh yeah.
But all right. In the meantime, we're still on week 2. We've gone through 2 games. Let's hold off on no lineup because no lineup seems to be looking to get on the line, and here they are.
That was the marquee game anyway.
Without further ado, on the line we've got the owner of No Lineup Needed. Christian's on the line. Christian, how are you?
Hey, gents, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good, Christian.
Good. So we're going through week 2 action. We've covered the Knuckleheads and Born to Run. We've covered worst team ever in Sodi Pantloads. And now, since you're on the line,
why not?
Let's talk about the game of the week.
And let's talk about how much sleep you lost, Christian.
Hold on, before we do that, let's get the owner of Whopper Moppers, our reigning champs, are also on the line.
Nice.
Tom's on the line. Tom, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you guys now.
All right, perfect. So Tom, we went through the worst team ever in Sodi Pantloads. We went through the Born to Run and Knuckleheads game, and we're just about to talk about one of the great matchups of the week. Walt, take us away.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great matchup. It came down to the bitter end. It was, that, like I said, that kind of can ruin your night sometimes when you're just waiting, the game's decided by that. But all around, 133, both teams had good scores. I think, Christian, you might want to comment. The Raiders' use of Genty was baffling to me.
I think that was probably well, you draft this guy 6th overall, and I don't think they did like those multiple 2-minute drills when they somehow got the ball gifted to them by the Chargers offense, and he didn't see the field once. And he ran effectively. Like, I understand he's probably not the best in pass block, but I'm actually like, you draft this guy, you have a bunch of no names outside of Brock Bowers. Why is he not on the field like every offensive play he can get? I really don't get it, especially because Geno looked horrible throwing the ball.
Yep.
Like, this dude is the perfect outlet. So that was like, I was actually kind of sad to see that, because I thought when Hampton dropped that ball when it gave the Raiders life, like, they have to put this guy on the field.
Yep.
Like, but so I really felt kind of disappointed by not even his play. He looked decent. It's more of just the play calling was, I don't know. I can't comment on Pete Carroll.
No, I agree. I mean, some of the like cuts he made or whatever, like you can tell he's like a special player. Like from what I see, no, I was extremely puzzled by
I agree.
How they used him, and that's going to kill you.
Oh yeah,
that's your number one pick, and you're only getting 7 points.
100%.
Well, and and the other thing too, McConkey being like essentially wide receiver 3 on like every look, like it's not what I expected.
Right.
Like Quentin Johnson looks like a legitimately good wide receiver, and Keenan Allen's eating up like those short yard throws.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's a little bit of concern, but I feel like McConkey is pretty good and will get that volume back. So, like, I'm not too, like, I'm disappointed I lost, but I'm like, I would have beat almost every other team in the league, so I'm not, like, too broken up about it.
Like I said, you score 133 points, like I was saying on my game. If you get into the 130s, you can't be upset. That's a solid week. The only thing I'll say with McConkey that I just wonder if the Keenan Allen is going to hurt him more than I thought it would be, because, again, I pretty much felt Keenan Allen was washed up.
Of course you did. And then he seems to have not lost a step. I don't understand how that's even possible.
Right. So I just, that's something to watch out for, definitely, Christian.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But Pickens woke up, which was nice. So that I think that's going to be a solid connection for you.
Last week I was kicking myself for not picking Zay Flowers, obviously after beat my ass because I have Lamar, but I actually think Ted McMillan looked pretty dominant out there. He was bullying the secondary that he was playing, trucking dudes, making good cuts. So I'm pretty happy with him. I mean, it's really, I just felt like I ran up against one of 2 teams I would have lost against this week. Yeah. So bad luck there.
Yeah, that is a big dude, that Ted McMillan. When he's on the field, when you look at highlights, does anyone know how big Ted McMillan is?
I don't know. He's like the Derrick Henry of wide receivers.
Right?
Like,
that's a
everybody else looks small compared to him. I know. I was like, I never realized he was that big of a dude.
That's a big guy flying around out there. So let me throw this to you, Tom. This is it's the shootout of the week for sure. Did you wake up the next day, or did you fight it all the way through to learn that you had squeaked this one out by the thinnest of margins?
Yeah. So funny thing, went to bed, was a Monday night. Didn't watch a second of that game. Went to bed before it even started. So I woke up in the morning, showered right away. Usually I'll check the fantasy app before I shower, but I figured I was up by 17. He had Gente going and McConkey's. I'm like, no shot, I'm going to win.
Right.
Showered, opened up the app afterwards, and I'm like, wow. Won by 0.7 of a point. And so, yeah, it was a good start to a Monday, and the projections were dead on. I think the projections going into the week were like 132 to 131.5 or whatever.
Yeah, overall.
Sometimes you got to squeak away with those.
It's so crazy. Christian, any concern with Ashton Jante's usage with the Raiders?
I mean, I think I have to be I don't know. I don't think he's I think he's getting penalized for pass blocking or something else.
No,
but
he's terrible blocking.
But I'm also at the same time, I'm like, if the Raiders want to win games, they have to play him. The dude is hailed as the second coming for their offense, and so when he gets the ball, he looks really good. He's not great in pass block, but I'm also, I can't say after 2 games I'm disappointed that a rookie is underperformed. I think I experienced the same thing with like Bijan when
Yes.
or I think after I got him from you, Walt, or when I had him.
Right.
So I've seen it all before. So if it's like week 4 or 5, I'll be more wary if he's getting the same usage.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
I would agree. You know who had the same problem their first year was Saquon Barkley. He had issues with pass pro. He still had an amazing rookie year, but it took some time for the coaches to trust him, and I think that the same thing will happen with Ashton Janty.
Yep.
I'm just not to pinch against myself. I'm just happy with Christian McCaffrey.
So,
The only usable option, and I'm actually very happy with his usage when he was apparently injured going into game 1.
Right.
But it was nice to see no designation,
Mm-hmm.
play the whole game,
Yeah.
and it just to back up that the injury, so-called injury, was really just him being smart and saying, "I felt a little something.
Right.
Why even take a chance?"
Right.
So
Yeah.
yes, McCaffrey owners are definitely sighing a big sigh of relief. Hey Tom, what about I have Nico Collins in another league. Are you concerned about him? Because I am.
I don't know. I still don't know what to think after 2 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
Stroud looks like he's running for his life back there.
That's
every
the
snap.
problem. That's the
So
problem.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously the first game he got only a couple targets. He got a handful last week, but I don't know. I'm hoping they find that connection again. He's definitely their best receiver, but they're definitely not targeting him enough.
Yeah.
Well, I think, he's a mid to long route type of guy. So if you get no time, like, that's going to limit his targets. Because that's my concern about him is,
Right.
is that line going to get that much better?
Right.
Because they look terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they look awful.
That entire offensive operation over there, if you look back, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about, CJ Stroud came out really strong, and all of a sudden Houston was this team that was going to be this juggernaut, and now it's just struggles, like quick struggles. So I don't know. I have a lot of concern for Houston. We'll see if they can get their running game squared away at some point this season, if that changes things. But right now, it's definitely concerning.
On the plus side, though, James Cook is getting more volume than I thought he would.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought they were going to manage that early on. He's getting a lot of looks.
He is. They paid him.
Right.
They paid him. You might as well get out there and feed him the ball.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, we'll talk about this coming up week. But boy, he's got a juicy matchup coming up this week with the Dolphins. So.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the game of the week. Whopper Moppers squeaking by, no lineup needed. And where does that leave us?
We got the Rifle and the Soaring Eagles.
Rifle and Soaring Eagles.
I understand why Tony's probably not on the call this week. He probably can't bear this right now.
Yeah, so let's go to that game. Boston Beans and the Soaring Eagles. Soaring Eagles moved to 1-1, scoring a 119.1 to 109.55 victory over the Beans. Beans fall to 0-2, sitting in 8th place. The story of this game comes down to just subpar performances from people that you wouldn't expect. Well, where did you see that starting for the Beans?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, 12 points from your quarterback. But that aside, because it kind of got evened out with Josh Allen only getting 13, which is crazy.
Right.
We got to talk about A.J. Brown and the fact of the Eagles. They're a run-first team now.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. A.J. Brown's like an afterthought. So, the Beans was looking at Hurts-Brown connection again, and now I don't know if you can rely on that. That could be a problem.
Yeah, I agree. And it, like, I don't know how Devontae Smith did last week. I know in week 1 he didn't get much work.
Right.
So is this become like a Baltimore Ravens style just run team where they're ignoring the passing game?
I think it is, and who can argue with their success?
I agree.
AJ Brown needs to be traded.
I think he could probably benefit from a change of scenery, Tom. I think you're right on there. I
agree.
If they're not going to use him,
totally agree.
I don't know.
It's crazy that a dude of his stature is getting like 8-yard receptions.
I
Like
know.
that dude is like a long ball 50-50 fiend, and the dude got 5 receptions and like 27 yards. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think the point is just so he keeps them quiet by
Yeah,
just
maybe.
giving them
Yeah.
some action.
Give him something.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah. I don't think that Beans has much cause for concern, though, because they have talent on this roster down on the bench. Waddle had a good game.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen. We mentioned it when we were talking about Ladd McConkey.
You got to start him.
He's reborn. He's a starter now.
I
think he's a must start in fantasy football lineups.
I agree. Yeah, I'm looking up Smith because.
Yeah, I don't know how he did this.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look just for that reason.
Tom, looking at soaring Eagles, we talked about Jalen Hurts having an off week. Josh Allen only put up 13 points too. So when you look at this game, what really pulled it out for the Eagles?
I mean, a chain 26 points is big. I mean, I think his running backs combined right there, 46 points. True. I think most worrisome with the Eagles is his wide receivers right now. It looks like Odunze might be the number one there instead of Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Metcalf, who knows what's going on in the Steelers, and then Travis Hunter. Like, I think he's undetermined still. So
yeah, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter needs some time.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's a late season guy. That's going to take that time to figure out how to use him.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so Devontae only had 4 catches for 53 yards. That's not good.
That is not terrific. That's not what you're looking for from your top 2 receivers. That kind of output.
But my team, I love it because I'll take Barkley if that's a run first.
Right?
I like the trend where this is going.
All right, so Soaring Eagles 1-1. Boston Beans fall to 0-2, which is not where you want to be. But again, it's only 2 weeks. This is a pretty lengthy regular season, and that leaves us with another Civil War game.
Yeah.
Huey Lewis in the news, moving to 2-0. Not surprising. 124.1 to 99.8 victory over the Springfield Rifle. Springfield Rifle fall to 0-2. Walt, tell me the story of this game.
I think the story is you could give Huey coal and somehow it would turn into gold. I don't know how he does it. Like, he always finds like somebody. However, like we talked earlier before we started, you did feel Jonathan Taylor was a guy to target.
He was going to be my first pick in the second round because I had the turn. I had number 1 pick in the second round, and it was going to be Jonathan Taylor. And Huey goes and picks him. I think he was a 7th in the draft, 7th spot or 8th spot. And I think that legitimately raised some eyebrows. I think that there were some people that didn't have Jonathan Taylor as first round material this year, and blowing up.
Right here. Sign me up. And it makes sense though. The schedule's going to be probably fairly soft the whole season with that division. Like, that's the goal, man. He could carry them. I mean, Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry, tough game, but if you got 2 backs that are going to maybe score 20, 30 a week.
I agree.
That's a nice advantage to have over other people.
I agree. Callers, if either of you is watching the show while you're participating, if you could turn the volume down. We're getting a little bit of squawk, just a little production note, and then I would appreciate that. It took me long enough to get the video working. Tough to be producing and talking about football at the same time. So I appreciate everyone's patience from the top of the show. So Tom, when you look at this Huey Lewis taking on the Springfield Rifle, we talked about Jonathan Taylor being the surprise. Tight end Sam Laporta, is this the second week that he's basically laid an egg? Is Sam Laporta, was he a one-hit wonder with his good season?
Yeah, he really might have been a one-hit wonder a few years ago. And honestly, just like tight ends all around, I feel like there's a couple, 2-3 good tight ends, and the rest of them are just lumped into 5-10 points. Sometimes they'll get 15. But if you don't get one of the top 2-3 guys, I feel like you're missing out on the tight ends.
Yeah,
I wholeheartedly agree.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing that all over the place. And, Bowers is dinged up, so that hurts me a little. But you're right. If you don't have Bowers, McBride, even though Kraft though has been
Tucker Kraft blew up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's interesting. What about Jefferson to all of you? Is that something the rifle needs to be concerned about?
I'll defer to the callers on that.
I would say so. Who knows when JJ McCarthy will be back? But I mean, actually, looking at the depth that the rifle has, like Ramondre looks like the number one, so he could go into the flex. Debo is looking great. I feel like if Jefferson underperforms, I actually am not. I'd be concerned for him in terms of like you want to be like a 20-point per week player.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's built to take a underperforming Jefferson, and I mean throwing him on the bench seems like heresy. But Debo looks like he's eating again, so it's kind of think he can take it. I'm more concerned about the fact that he has Matthew Stafford as his starting.
Wow, that hurts. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
QB.
Yeah, but I mean, Stafford had an okay week, 20 points, 20 fantasy points. I mean, the Rifles bench scored almost as many points as the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So you can't, if you get 93 points from your bench, you can't be worried too much about your result. Yeah, you got to make some changes, but the talent's there.
Yeah, I agree. You're right, Christian. It's tough to put, Jefferson on the bench, your number one pick.
That's
you say
hard.
it's your ride or die.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but he's got other question, like, can you trust Tyreek Hill? I mean, the Patriots secondary was, abysmal.
Yeah, they're missing their top two cornerbacks.
Right. So, and then Hollywood Brown, that was a risky start, in my opinion, too.
Yeah.
The Chiefs offense has not been that great.
But he's the only receiver that they have right now.
So, right. Yeah. So I can't fault them for doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, they don't have to worry. They got the Giants next week. So
maybe
Hollywood
a good start
could,
for Hollywood Brown. Yeah,
sure could. It seems like that's trending.
No question.
Good matchup for them. All right, so that is BARFF Week 2 in the books. A lot of exciting games. This was a great week in BARFF. And so as we get to the end of the BARFF results for Week 2, let's take a look at our side bet, and that's the Guillotine League. So last week we lost worst team ever, right? So let me just make sure, because I screwed this up so totally, and I'll apologize to you now, Christian. I don't understand why I had no lineup in my head. I was staring at numbers that clearly stated that is incorrect information, and yet my mouth just continued to say it. So we did not lose no lineup last week. We lost worst team ever. And so what does that leave us with this week, Walt? Who is out in the Guillotine side bet?
It looks like wait a minute, I forgot already. I just said it. Wait a minute.
I believe it's the Boston
Beans. It's the Beans, yes.
Beans
we
with
lost the Beans.
109.55, so they are out, and that leaves us with 6 teams left in this side bet. We'll see what we got going on.
Tom, I'm concerned now. Tony don't live with you anymore, so maybe you can check on him periodically.
No, Tony's doing good.
All right.
Playing a lot of college football.
Okay.
I love it. I don't worry about the Beans. That's a proud franchise. They're a little bit of bad luck right now. 0-2, out of the guillotine early, but this owner will bring it. We'll bring it back. I'm confident. All right, so that was week 2 down. Let's look ahead to next week's slate of games.
We got some major ramifications of the outcome of this week.
So where do you want to start when talking about week? I can't believe it's week 3, but
I know.
Week 3.
Let's since we just we're talking about them. Let's talking about the Beans and the Rifle. A couple 0-2 teams.
Yep.
Coming to town.
Yep. This is a battle of 0-2 teams. The projections have it really tight right now. Let's get that up on the screen. It's right now the Boston Beans, with a little bit of love from ESPN, are projecting to go 128.2 over 125.8 for the Rifle. Someone's getting a win this week. Walt, who do you think it's going to be?
I'm worried for the Beans for a couple of reasons. Chase is Browning's good. Jake Browning had a great 3 quarters. He had great stats stepping in for Burrow. But no matter what, you got to worry, the chemistry with Chase isn't going to be impacted. Right. So that's concerning.
Yeah.
I think, Connor against Frisco, he'll probably be fine. But, to me, Kelsey, can you really trust having Travis Kelce in your lineup? I don't know if And Kraft got hurt at practice, so
oh boy,
that's probably why he's there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm worried for the Beans.
Tom said it. Tight ends in this league are few and far between, and it's not Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, and George Kittle anymore. That's just those guys they're aging out. Kittle can't stay on the field. Andrews had a rough year last year, especially towards the end, and Kelce has not been the Travis Kelce that we're used to.
No, but then on the flip side, I don't know. Is Hill going to do anything against Buffalo tonight? I mean. Who's starting for Minnesota? I didn't see who's getting the nod.
I do know this.
Is it Mason? Jordan Mason?
Jordan Mason's at running back, but who?
Oh, you mean
the quarterback?
QB?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm drawing a blank,
Yeah.
but like they're projecting Justin Jefferson 19 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a high projection to me for.
It does.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that's it. Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Yes, our old friend Carson Wentz.
Well, so actually, maybe that might not be a bad thing for Jefferson. Yeah, that's right, Carson Wentz. So I think overall, I'll give the Beans a slight edge, maybe, when it's all said and done, just because the uncertainty of Tyreek Hill, Jefferson. But I could see this coming down to the wire.
Yeah, I agree. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Beans is going to win. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Tyreek Hill is also a couple drives away from pulling an Antonio Brown, walking off the field.
I don't believe that.
No doubt.
It. Yeah, it could happen.
I do think Carson Wentz is going to benefit Jefferson, though. What's his name? But McCarthy, I don't know. That offense it's not clicking right now. So I think Carson Wentz with a little more experience will probably target Jefferson.
Yeah.
So, but I do think Beans is going to pull this out.
All right, Christian.
Yeah, I think the Beans are as well. I think that he just has some good matchups. Like I'm not seeing any defenses, maybe outside of San Francisco, that look too dangerous. It's more of, Kamara into Seattle. Apparently, Seattle has like the best defense thus far this year.
Seattle's been very good on D.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah.
And then Jacobs into Cleveland. Cleveland's always kind of a dog to play against, and so it's like, unless Debo seems like the only really favorable matchup, and maybe Jefferson that I like, but I don't know if I trust that. Plus, I feel like AJ Brown might be on the way out, but I feel like they're going to try to.
At some
feed
point,
they're going to try at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he causes such a stink when he doesn't get fed, or like when, honestly, he might be right about some of it, like the way they're using him.
Yeah.
But I feel like they might just try to feed him if they can throw the ball.
Yeah. Especially red zone. One thing that you do to shut up a wide receiver is you get him a touchdown.
Exactly.
So you may not throw him 10 targets, but if he gets in the end zone, typically they'll shut up a little bit.
100%. I don't disagree.
All right, so that's Boston Beans and a Rifle. Where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about we'll go the other route. Let's talk about the 2-0 teams. Huey against the Pantloads.
Huey Lewis in the news against Sody Pantloads. Right now, this is projected to be a 135 to 126 victory for the Sody Pantloads, which is a pretty extreme line right now. So we'll scroll down and take a look. Drake May continues to get playing time for Sody, facing off against Justin Herbert, who has taken a running offense and started to score good fantasy points as a quarterback. So, Walt, what do you think about this one?
I think, as far as like Herbert against Denver, I think that prediction's good. Taylor 19, I think that's under. But then I look at Breece Hall. Tampa's D look good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how he's getting 16 unless he gets, a touchdown. Cup, Kincaid, Derrick Henry against Detroit. I think he'll be fine there. But I look at Sody's overall. Bijan against Carolina. Love that. I like Bucky against the Jets. That's like great matchup. McBride against Frisco. I think Jameson Williams. So overall, I think I like Sody's matchups a tad better.
Okay.
So I'm going to say I see Sody kind of eking one out again.
All right. I think I would say Breece Hall's situation, remember that it looks like Justin Fields is going to miss this one.
Right.
And so they're going to have Tyrod Taylor taking the snaps. And so they may be a little more apt to feed Breece Hall, but we'll see.
Point.
We'll see. Christian, what do you think about this one?
I'm liking Sody's matchups. I think Rome Odunze might eat the Dallas secondary based on the fact that he seemingly beat up that Detroit secondary by himself.
Yep.
I just love the matchups on Sodi's side. I think that's really it. Maybe Drake May against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh hasn't looked great, but it's also Pittsburgh. Like, that might be the one thing that I'm not liking, but
yeah, I agree.
mean, I think that's like the big thing for me is he has his star players in good matchups there.
Tom, you've described Drake May in the past as having a very similar skill set to Josh Allen
2.0.
Josh Allen 2.0.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this matchup with Drake May against Pittsburgh this week?
They need to let the kid run. He's 6'5". He's a big kid. Josh Allen didn't look great in his first few years. I don't know. I think he'll have a solid week. Who knows if they'll win? But yeah, the top 5 quarterback.
Top 5 quarterback.
Oh,
all right.
Boy.
You heard it on the
Yeah,
BARFF Fantasy Football podcast first. All right. Very
Just
good.
because you hear it doesn't mean you got to believe it. That's for sure.
Tom, with Huey Lewis in the news taking on Sodi Pantloads, who takes it?
I do think Sodi takes it. He's got a lot of good matchups, and Javonte Williams has been a big surprise.
I agree.
I think like top 5 running back right now. He's got over 20 for both weeks. So, I mean, he's been huge for Sodi. So I do think Sodi's going to take this one.
Yeah, I still can't believe Javonte Williams. It's like a mirage. I watched him when he scored on. Like, he's really not that fast though either.
No.
It's just, but Cowboys line is actually better.
They're better than they were advertised.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
Javonte Williams is.
That could be a steal in a draft.
Those
honestly.
knee injuries, they're tricky. Like
Right.
the guy comes back and starts playing again. Sometimes it takes a year and a half for that to really gel. So it looks like it's coming together for Javonte Williams, which after a promising start to his career, now he's thriving in Dallas.
Yeah. I'm not going to complain as a Cowboy fan, but I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I thought that's a throwaway pick, but hey. Good for him.
Yeah, those Denver fans, they're loyal
He's
to
loyal
the end, even when the people are out of town.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, where are we going next?
Let's take a look at your game.
All right.
Eagles against you.
All right, a little bit of a Civil War game. Knuckleheads taking on Soaring Eagles. Right now, the Knuckleheads are projected to win this one 132.8 to 129.4 and a squeaker over the Soaring Eagles. Walt, when you look at this game?
Well, I'm happy to say you got the right guy started, finally. I don't know. I'm
what
not
a tragic
sure why.
decision.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But, you're right at the ship. Of course, injuries helps. That he's your only healthy quarterback. But you got Mayfield against the Jets. Like, say what you want about Mayfield. Like, he's actually developed into a really good quarterback.
Landed in a good spot.
Yeah, he really did.
Yep.
Hampton against Denver, nice. Mason, love that. Neighbors, Kansas City, they don't scare me on D.
No.
At all.
No.
St. Brown. So against Baltimore now, actually that one might be a little bit of high projection because I just wonder if their Lions are going to be able to protect Goff against the Ravens.
So we've seen this tale of two offenses in Detroit over the first 2 weeks, so who knows what's going to show up this week.
So, Gibbs against Baltimore, so, same kind of trade-off. O'Shen against Buffalo. So, honestly, I think this game's going to, when we wake up tomorrow, it gives us a really good indication because Josh Allen, I can literally see get 50 points tonight against Miami. And if he does, and then I think, the Eagles have a really solid chance to maybe pull out. I'll call it an upset. So overall, I think you'll win. My caveat: if Allen gets 40 plus,
because if Allen gets 40 plus, Ashan may very well get 40 plus too, trying to keep up.
Yeah. So so that's where I'm going with that.
All right. Christian, what do you think? Knuckleheads versus Soaring Eagles.
I'm liking the Knuckleheads. I don't know how your wide receivers don't eat. And Tyler Warren, I was very sad when you stole him from me in the draft there. I just think that's unless Baltimore goes run only and can just dice up Detroit that way, I'm really liking your team. I guess Josh Allen though against Miami is just scary. I guess the running backs and Josh Allen might put up 100 points in those matchups. Yeah. That's the one thing. Yeah. So, but I think the rest of the team, I really like your team there.
All right, Tom, what do you think? Soaring Eagles and Knucklehead.
I think it's gonna be a close one, but I think the biggest thing is Omari Hampton came into the league with like such high expectations around him, and it doesn't seem like he's done much so far. Looks like he lost a handful of snaps last week, but I don't know. I mean, the Knuckleheads wide receivers, if those guys put up 20, 25 points each, that's 50 points right there. So I think the Knuckleheads is going to take this one, but I think it's going to be close.
It's going to be a squeaker. Yeah, well, we were talking off air about that game, and it's simply not sustainable to be relying on the wide receivers like that. So I'm hoping Jordan Mason really comes alive. I put all my eggs in these rookie running backs because of the way that the draft fell for me. And Omarion Hampton going to the Chargers, you think that's an ideal situation, and all of a sudden Justin Herbert's just slinging it all over the field. So,
like, who predicted
right?
that, right?
To Keenan Allen. He's throwing the ball to Keenan Allen constantly.
Yeah,
and on a Jim Harbaugh offense, none of it makes sense to me, but it's working for them. So
he's finally like unleashed them, which makes sense. I mean, you got a talented quarterback, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not shocked.
No. And does that? Where are we now?
No, we got two more. So let's look at me in the champs game because I wanted to save the special game for last.
All right.
Special. Wow. Thank you. Such a title.
Yes. Yeah.
This is we're talking about Whopper Moppers taking on Born to Run. Right now, Whopper Moppers has a generous 10-point projected victory, 132.7 to 122.1 over the Born to Run. Tom, I'm going to start with you on this one. That's a big projected victory. What do you think is going to happen this week?
I think this is going to come down to two guys, Pacheco and if Bowers can play. I think if Bowers can't play and Pacheco puts up another dud, I mean, he hasn't been great lately or start the season. I think I should take this one, but we'll see what James Cook can do tonight. If he can have a big night, that'll be a good start to the week.
Yeah, I think James Cook has a good night tonight. You've said it a couple times already. So what do you think?
I thank Tom for his humility on this. Tom, I don't know what you did to get this schedule this week. It's ridiculous. The only way I'm winning is if I score like 170 points because I'll need it because you're going to have like 168. This is like the dream schedule I've ever seen in my life. Mahomes against the Giants. Cook against Miami, Hubbard and Atlanta. That's a great matchup because that's going to be a close game. The whole thing. Yeah. Nakua against Philly is awesome. Collins, we're badmouth him. He gets Jacksonville. I mean, I just don't even know where to begin. Like, this is like ridiculous to me. Like I said, if somehow Pacheco, gets like 20, and I had to take Bowers out already, Tom, because I mean he was pedestrian. I mean,
and I don't
really
know.
Run at all.
Did he practice?
Yeah,
like
he's limited again. Yeah. So I had to put Ferguson in just because I'll double up the points if Dak hits him for a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. He did not look good last week.
No.
Looked like he was struggling out there. On the
he
field
was.
running.
That guy was a warrior for going out there, but that don't help me in fantasy. So, yeah. So I'm sticking with mine. I need like 170. That's my only shot at this game.
Christian, what do you think when Whopper Moppers takes on Born to Run this week?
I got to go with the Moppers. Their lineups are juicy. The team's on a roll. And also, Born to Run is just like in the injury house already. You got two of his top three picks in Book. I don't know. And Book is looking like the real deal, too. So it's like almost three key players just sidelining him.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the Whoppers might run away.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to my co-host, and like Brian Thomas, right? He had 12 targets. He would that's awesome. And he dropped like 9 of them because his wrist hurts. So, like, I can't even put him in. A guy that was in my, I don't know, what did I pick him? 3rd round, maybe?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
that's hard.
Christian's right. The injuries are definitely hurting me a little here, but it's fine. 1 and 2 I can live with. That's fine.
Sure.
No concern.
Just don't want to start 0-3.
That's it. And that's a really good segue.
Well, let's use that segue to move on and look at the last game that we got to look at for the week. Let me get it on the screen. Walt,
I'll say this: how dare ESPN says it's only 51-49? I don't see this at all. I guess CD. CD could put up 40, I guess, maybe not, but, I mean, lightning in a bottle. Warren, you'd think I don't know. To me, it's risky to think he's got double-digit guy all the time.
Right.
David Montgomery against Baltimore. Daniels is questionable. Like, I don't know. I don't even see how worst team ever breaks the century mark on this.
So this is no lineup needed. Currently projected to go 130 over. Worst team ever 127.7.
127. How? That's all I want to know.
Maybe we'll get a quick in and out call. Christian, what do you think with this clearly vote of confidence given to you by Born to Run? What do you think is going to happen in your game this week?
I mean, I'm liking my team. I think I'm really am only scared of CD, because if CD really eats, then I think Pickens is going to have like a pedestrian at best week if CD's putting up like 40.
Sure.
But other than that, I really do think like, I mean, I like my team. I mean, I'm hoping I get Rashi back sometime soon, but like, I think Warren over Genty, maybe on their performances alone this year, I'd say yes. Warren's looked pretty good, but Genty, I mean, Washington doesn't look that special. I think Juwan Johnson is like Zach Ertz, one of those great mid tight end pickups of week one.
Yeah.
He's getting tons of volume. So I'm liking my team, and I think Tet at Atlanta's looked pretty porous, and if they're going to throw the ball / keep the game tight, I think they'll need to toss it. So I'm liking my team. I think if Jane Daniels doesn't play, I think I'm strongly feeling that I will pull this one out and hopefully not go to 0-3. But even if I go to 0-3, I won't be. I think I've clawed back from there before.
Yeah, I mean, your point total is definitely there, so I agree.
Yeah.
Plus, Lamar Jackson, Monday Night Lights.
I know.
He's going to get more than 26.
I agree.
There's no question in my mind about that.
That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, Detroit's D is not good.
Yeah.
Who's going to contain Lamar Jackson? He breaks the pocket.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
go ahead, Christian.
McCaffrey's going to run all over Arizona. Arizona doesn't look good either. So I don't know. I'm feeling pretty confident with my lineup.
Yeah, when you're 0-2, but you've got the number 1 quarterback, the number 3 running back, and the number 2 tight end in fantasy football after 2 weeks. So your team's you're doing all right.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, it's like I said, sometimes I look at these predictions, I just like, and this is definitely one of them. I think it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, they don't consult us enough.
No.
Tom, no lineup needed takes on worst team ever. How do you see it going?
I think no lineup needed is going to take this one pretty easy. I think worst team ever's got a lot of question marks. I mean, Drake London, who knows? Jonnu Smith, T. Higgins, I wouldn't touch with a 5,000-foot pole.
Exactly. Only worst team ever would touch him. That's exactly.
And then even Montgomery, you're splitting a ton of snaps with Gibbs. So I think 127's it's a high projection. I think Christian or no lineup needed should take this one pretty easily.
Yeah, I think Atlanta may lean on Drake London a little bit. He's underperformed, so maybe this is the week for him. But outside of that, and CD, we've talked that to death already. I don't really see where the explosive performances are going to come from. I am afraid of the T. Higgins situation. Jake Browning. Everyone's going to be focused on his rapport with Jamar Chase. I think T. Higgins could find himself a forgotten man.
Yeah, I agree. And you see it all the time. Guys come off bench, they play great. After people get a little film, a couple games. Browning's good though. I've seen him last year, but I don't know. I'm with you on that. I definitely think, that Higgins comes back to earth even more so with him in there.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough, but should be a really good.
This is why we play
games. Absolutely.
I've seen worse upsets, so. You just never know. I think I was thinking about it. I'm like, I think the bet should be what will be the bigger margin of victory, the Moppers against me or no lineup against the worst team ever. You heard it here. I think that we might see the biggest point differential in both those games.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Did that finish us off with our?
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, wow, we're talking about week 3 already. It's going by fast.
It is.
in addition to the games being really good, and we've got a little bit of excitement with our Guillotine side bet this year, I can tell you that for the second week in a row, the waiver wire game was pretty exciting this week as well. The transactions and the bidding war. Everyone knew after that amazing Giants-Cowboys game, whether you were elated or heartbroken at the end of it, there was monstrous amounts of fantasy points put up, and that kicked off what I will call for this week in the waiver wire, the Wan'Dale Robinson sweepstakes. There were so many people that were bidding on Wan'Dale Robinson. We'll look at the offers report for him.
Yeah, I got some comments on that on this.
All right, so Soaring Eagles tried the $5 offer on Wan'Dale Robinson.
Appropriate.
Huey threw $20. Christian, you threw $20 in. I went $31, mostly trying to keep him away from people.
Okay.
Worst team ever comes over the top with a $53 bomb to pick up Wan'Dale Robinson. Walt, your thoughts?
Okay, so you could say it's like timeouts, right? You don't want to end the game with timeouts in your pocket. So I understand you spend it, and you maybe make that same analogy for bidding dollars, right? You don't want to,
Right, don't want to leave them
but,
back.
I mean, if you ever seen a transaction that reeks of desperation, this is like the poster child for desperation transaction. This is insanity. I don't. We're talking Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wan'Dale Robinson had a great. He's had a great start to the season, and it's a good matchup with KC.
I guess. I mean, and Ty's gonna argue. I just looked. He's 8th, position ranked. He's 8th, so he's better than my receivers. It's 2 weeks, people. I don't know. I guess. I feel it's a bit of a Hail Mary, but I guess you're 0-2, but probably going to be 0-3. I guess who am I to say? Why not pick up Wan'Dale Robinson?
Worst team ever taking a beating tonight. Christian, you threw $20 into the waiver wire, fob money at this player. What do you think about how it played out?
I mean, I thought I was throwing a decent offer there. I assumed someone would go higher than me, but I was just like, hey, I can get him for $20. I feel like that's a good potential lottery ticket to have on my bench if my team really falls apart. Yeah. But I was surprised at how high it went. Like, I've honestly been surprised at how high a lot of mid players have gone, which is why I'm conserving my dollars. Because I think there'll be some late season winners on the line that I'll be able to do like my classic last year $150 dump just to make sure I get someone. Right. So
yeah. Tom, you did not get involved in the Wan'Dale Robinson sweepstakes, but do you think this was a $53 player?
I honestly had no interest in getting involved. I mean, I guess when you're 0-2, you don't want to go 0-3. So, I mean, 53 is, I don't know.
I mean, it's like, we saw a Powerball on $1 billion. It's like, I'm going to spend $1,000 thinking that's going to help my chances of winning Powerball.
Right.
I mean, that's how I look at that. It's the same thing to me. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong for worst team ever.
Yeah, I saw, to be honest, I'm valuing him a little bit higher than you guys. I threw 31 in thinking that it was going to be a $30 bid, and then I'd throw the extra dollar and maybe scoop him up as a defensive play because I don't really need a wide receiver right now. But yeah, I did not see that coming. I don't hate it. I think it's a little high, but who knows? He could this week with this Kansas City matchup, because we've been saying it. You don't want to be 0-3.
No,
you got to do whatever you want to
totally
whatever
agree.
you can to not be 0-3.
But I'll say this: I better see him in that worst team ever lineup. You just spent $53.
You mean
That's
if
all
he's not in the lineup
say.
in week
Exactly.
3, there could be problems.
Yeah.
That would be problematic. I agree. He could be distracted. There's a lot going on in the worst team ever.
Right.
Now, so.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe that's clouding his judgment. So, good point. Very good point.
All right. So far in this young season, guys, I'll throw this out to you. Without having done any research on it, any players that you're seeing as fantasy surprises right now, any one player that you've been following, whether on your team or not, who has surprised you with their output? Walt, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's easy. We already talked about him, and I've watched him the last 2 weeks. I'm just shocked by Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
I got nothing. He's shocking me, and I hate to say it. It looks like he's going to be pretty good in my mind the whole season.
Yeah.
So
if he can hold up,
exactly.
They're giving him quite a workload.
Yeah, so good for the Pantloads. I think they found a gem.
Nice. Christian, I'll go to you on this. Any surprising fantasy players?
Yeah, Quentin Johnson, dude at Butterfingers for his first 2 seasons, called like the biggest first-round bust in a while, and the dude literally looks remade. It's crazy that dude is a weapon out there in catching those bombs with ease. So I'm nervous because I'm a Lad McConkey owner, but at the same time, I'm like, how long can it last?
Right.
But I think he's looked great when I've watched him.
Yeah, on a team that's slinging it. He is holding onto that ball, and he's making the best of his opportunities.
Yep.
Tom, same question for you. Surprising player.
I'm going to go, like, surprising group. I think the tight ends as a whole, like I said before, I think they've just all been terrible, minus, like, 2 of them.
Uh-huh.
Like, Hawkinson's been awful. Andrews, Kelsey hasn't been great. There's just been a lot of them that have just been bad.
Yeah. And here we are, week 3, and guess who's on the injured list? George Kittle.
Yeah. It's just bound to happen.
Right. It's just a predictable thing. I'm gonna stay with what Christian said with Quentin Johnson. I'm gonna say Justin Herbert's usage. I think he's ranked 5 out of quarterbacks right now.
Good point. Really good point.
I've had him in the past, and he's got so much talent, but that hasn't really translated to fantasy results until this year. This team is really slinging the ball around, and players like Quentin Johnston and Justin Herbert's fantasy value is reflected in how they're doing business in San Diego, LA. So
yeah, that's a good call. I mean, I agree. I don't think anyone thought the Chargers was going to be throwing a ball like that. It's just, I agree. It's been a surprise.
So. Right. All right, so we've been through standings. We've been through last week, this week, the waiver wire, and the Guillotine League. I think
that's it.
That's quite a show
it is.
that we have had this week. I want to thank No Lineup Needed and Whopper Moppers, our reigning champs, for calling in. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. It really makes the time fly by when we have
this one did
guests.
fly by. This was pretty crazy. And so, with that, I'm going to try to play us off with some outro music. Walt, great show.
Yeah, it was
much
a lot
appreciated.
of fun.
Thanks for coming down from the Great White North to the BARFF Dungeon. And for anyone that wants to jump in next week, we're looking for Tuesday night next week. So if you're watching this live now, if you're watching a replay, if you're listening in the car or whatever, look for us next Tuesday, and we'd love to have some more participation. And that is our show for the week. And let's see if this music will play. Walt and I won't hear it, so who knows what's happening. Good luck,
everyone.
See you guys.
Good night, guys.
See you.
Good night.